Hi, everybody, and welcome to the official channel of Epic Cash. My name is Rodrix, and I'll be hosting a series of interviews for you back home to know who's behind the project and who are the guys making it happen. And today we have here Enrique. He's the Epic Treasury contributor and one of the most active members in the community. Enrique, first of all, welcome and tell us, how did you start with Epic? How did you hear about Epic, first of all?
Well, thank you, Rodri. Thank you for having me. And well, how I first heard about Epic was during an interview. I believe the interview took place on June 8th, 2021. It was on the Uncle Vigilante show. I had known Uncle for maybe a few weeks and kind of looked at his channel. And I remember one evening, I decided to look at one of a series of episodes that he was going to do, which was called Shitcoin Trials, where he would basically, he was going to have founders from different projects come on his show, and, he was going to ask a series of questions, difficult questions, and, project founders were free to, say, hey, this is our project, this is how it works, and they would answer the questions. And on that night, Max Freeman was on the show. And I remember that it was a long interview. It lasted like almost 3 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes, I believe. And, when I heard Max and I heard about the project, I was immediately intrigued by what he was describing. And so that was the first time I heard about the project. And shortly after that, I began doing my research, and that's how I began learning more about the project. But that interview was what initially caught my attention and told me, to say, oh, wow, there might be something here,
Very, very interesting. Max has the ability to do that to people. He did the same thing to me a couple of years ago. What was your experience with crypto before this?
Okay, well, I got into crypto at first in 2016. I remember I started learning about Bitcoin early 2016. I bought my first few coins there. Also did some, dove into Ethereum a bit. And back then I was working as a finance manager for an energy company. But I immediately got drawn to cryptocurrency. Specifically because of the problems I saw, firsthand with censorship of money and, not being able to use your own money to send it to a supplier in another country. So I thought, this can't be it, there has to be a solution. And when I heard about Bitcoin, I was like, oh, okay, there might be, this might be useful. And so I became drawn immediately to Bitcoin. I traded, some cryptos passively from 2016 up until 2019. And I still had my job and, but besides my job, I was like really into crypto. I would spend maybe, I don't know, like 5 hours a day at least, when I was not working, I was into crypto, and even while I was working, I was always reading crypto related stuff. And it was in late 2019, I think it was the third quarter of 2019, where I did a full pivot into crypto. I stopped working and I dedicated, all of my time to trading and to researching projects, and did that from 2019 up until June of 2021, which was when I first heard about Epic. And after, I'd say, I don't know, maybe a couple of months of researching, I ended up closing all of my positions. I think it was 50 positions, I don't even remember, and pivoted all into Epic during that time.
Very, very interesting. I mean, I had kind of similar experience. I had a job that was extremely boring. I was sitting in a cubicle, and the whole day I was just listening to podcasts and talking about this Bitcoin blockchain thing. Didn't understand anything, but the more I studied, the more I got into it. And then back in 2017, I left everything and I dove headfirst into crypto and been doing crypto ever since. Very,
Nice.
very, very good. Very good.
You've
So
been a long time in crypto here.
I've been a long time in
Yeah,
crypto. Yeah, the background proves it. There's a lot of
yeah,
junk
I
in the
can
back
tell.
here. So, but what's why do you care so much about Epic then? Why is Epic attracting your attention?
Epic attracts me, and the reason I care so much about it is because I believe that it's the only project that is designed in such a way that it will truly create an ecosystem, an economic system that is neutral, that works, and that is censorship resistant, private, and that can really work as money for everyday people, for businesses. Uh, One of the main reasons why I like Epic so much is I see it as the only alternative to what's coming down the road with CBDCs and with this, growing system of control and coercion that I see in the world. I see Epic as the tool to really give people financial freedom. So it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. It is the tool that the world needs in order for people to have equal opportunity and not have to deal with all these things that we're seeing all over the world in many countries.
Well,
For example, like right now, if I don't know if you saw a speech, the newly elected president of Brazil, uh, he just said that people who do not submit to certain conditions that the government requires will not be able to receive any benefits, and they won't be able to access funding. And so, those kinds of things are why Epic is needed in the world, because we can't be dependent on the wishes of one group or another. We just need money that works regardless of your beliefs, regardless of your, sex, regardless of your views. It just has to work. And that's why I feel so drawn to it.
very, very, very good. Because as a Brazilian myself, I'm definitely knowing what's happening there, and it's very sad to see Brazil transforming itself into a socialist country, and it's happy. It's accelerating. It's accelerating. And so, but Epic, it's a very complex ecosystem. Epic AppSphere is growing more and more with several other departments, communications, groups, strategy, other sub projects. How would you explain Epic for someone who doesn't know Epic? What can they do? They can use as money, it's investment, it's staking. They can use to send money internationally. There's a stable coin. What's the best way you find to explain to someone who doesn't know what Epic is?
Yes. And I know it can get pretty complicated, when you begin talking as you have there, when you begin talking about these, I don't know how many are there, 12 protocols that are on that subway map. Uh, it tends to confuse people, but all of those are needed to create a system that's independent from central banks, private banks, and any any government, basically. But the way I would describe Epic to someone is a technology that can be used for you to send money to anyone for any reason, for any amount, at any time. And nobody can do anything to stop that. That would be
Excellent.
the simplest way for me to explain Epic to someone who.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a great first step, especially everybody if you're new to Epic. There are several steps and several ecosystems for you to understand. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Start slowly, and of course, always check it out. The Telegram groups, which I'm gonna leave on the link on the description below, so you can ask for some support, for some assistance, for some help from our community, the Epic Cash community. Okay, so check it out. The link is on the description on the video below. But Enrique, what do you do for the project, and how are you a contributor? What's your role there?
Well, right now I manage treasury funds. Since we're a community-driven project, we self-fund pretty much any initiative that the community wants to do, and we take in contributions from various members, to pay for some of those initiatives. And what I do is I manage all of the funding and speak to each contributor and make sure that they're safe and practical processes to receiving contributions, sending out any tokens that are rewarded for contributions. So that's my main role right now, and I help also with some corporate matters relating to the ecosystem, because we have the Epic blockchain, we have all the protocols, but there's also, anybody can start a company within the ecosystem. And so I also give a little bit of support on the corporate side. And that's basically, what I dedicate my time right now to do. And initially when I started in Epic, I remember I did a lot of translations, into Spanish, helped manage, fundraising activities, and essentially spread the word. That every chance I get, I talk to people about Epic when it's appropriate, obviously, and it pretty much takes up. There's no other kind of work that I would rather do than something Epic related, because I believe in the project and I believe that it's needed in the world, and there's no greater joy than being able to do that.
Excellent. And let's say, for example, someone who's watching this interview or other interviews, and they want to start as a volunteer helping out, on the Telegram group, or doing small translation, or helping post stuff on social media, because everything is becoming very complex and you need a lot of manpower to do sometimes a little copy and paste work, but requires time. So if anybody wants to start as a volunteer, what's your suggestion and what do you recommend?
Okay, well, first of all, I'd recommend them to check out what Epic is about at epic.tech, and join our Telegram group, our main chat, and figure out what you like to do. What you're good at, and based on that, there's always we have over 50 guilds and DAOs. One for marketing, another for translation, another, like, it's a complex, it's a broad ecosystem. And so if you're good at, editing videos, there's a guild for that. If you're good at translation, you can support in that way. If you're good at, finance, accounting, there's always room in all of our areas for new contributors. If you're a developer, there's obviously a lot of work down the road to be done on that end. And so, whatever your talent, whatever your skill is, and what you like to do, there's a place for you in Epic to get started. And you can check out the webpage. If you want to start mining too, you can, if you have a laptop, a gaming rig, or some GPU cards, you can start mining quickly. You just join the Epic Cash help desk group, and they can get you set up in a few minutes, and you can begin mining and supporting the network quickly.
And let's say, for example, I'm actually showing here the website. Everybody also double check the link on the description below. We have all the official links necessary for you to join the Telegram group, and of course have access to epic.tech as well. But Enrique, if someone, let's use as an example now. Let's say that I have $10,000 and I want to be a contributor to the treasury, or I want to buy the tokens, or I want to invest, or I want to be. What's the best way to approach the community if someone already has some cash on the side that want to start an investment?
Okay, well, if they first, they if they don't have any coins, I would suggest that they set a strategy, a dollar cost average strategy, so that they, periodically set an amount of money to buy the coin. But if they have something like $10,000, I would suggest, a dollar cost averaging strategy. Don't buy all your coins in one shot. Buy every week, buy every couple of weeks, etc. And for investors who want to, who have more funds and who would like to contribute in a different way and who already have coins, then they can join the groups. They can contact me, and there's as you showed before, there's about 12 protocols in development, and so the funding that we receive, we could use to help speed up the development of those protocols. And so, contact me or contact Max or any of the, of the team members that are always active, and we can, set you up with a nice package.
What are you most excited about the entire ecosystem? Is it, for example, the stablecoin, the mining operation, the treasury, the social media? What's your why on the community?
What's the most exciting thing about Epic? That's the question. Oh man, I think the most exciting part will be, to me, is when we will be able to use our Epic, as collateral for EUSD loans that we'll be able to spend, to buy goods, to buy services. And to me, that's the most exciting part, because when that is in place, theoretically, you will not need to ever use fiat. Once enough people use it, like for example, if in your community, if in the place where you live, you're able to, get the, your supplier of, food, water, fuel, everything you need to live. Once they adopt cryptocurrencies, and specifically they accept EUSD as a medium of exchange, you really don't need central banks anymore. You don't need to use fiat currencies. So to me, that will be the most exciting part. First, when all of those parts are set in motion, we can begin showing the value to businesses, to other people. So that to me is going to be the most, what I'm most looking forward to.
And regarding events and the community, how important it is, for example, for the community to do meetups? I know it's in the early stages, but we had some Epic Cash meetups in the past, and now, after pandemic, after businesses are opening, we have more crypto events happening. How important it is for the community to get together and have a beer, a pizza, talk about crypto, talk about Epic, and of course, grow these ecosystems of meetup and events?
I think it's really important because, as you know, there's over 20,000 cryptocurrencies, and people who are not familiar with this industry and with the history of this industry, they might be a little doubtful as to, should I put my currency into buying crypto? Should I get involved? And so I think we've seen, how long has it been since, I think 12 years, 13 years that there has been crypto, and there's really no utility for the average person. It's mostly people who have, disposable income that can buy cryptocurrencies. And so I think that showing people what our ecosystem can do today and what is being built and worked on for what we'll be able to do tomorrow, that's important because people will see, oh, okay, then there's value to this because, you know, the industry is just full of a lot of scams, rug pulls, ideas that just really are, you know, have no no point in being there, you know, coins that have no point in being there. But that's the most important thing to me of why we should have meetups, to show people the utility that we currently have and that we will have in the future.
Very, very important as well, this everybody, because it's a very complex ecosystem. There's several other ecosystems inside Epic, as I show it to you guys here on the whole app sphere diagram here, and also the app center subway map over here. So there's several steps. So if you're looking into getting know more about the project, being part of the project, investing into the project, getting to the community, I'm gonna leave a link with several links for you. That's our official link tree that we have over here with all the resources and everything. Everything is very organized. There's also a whole bunch of information regarding the project. How can you be financially independent as well, protect your wealth, and of course be part of the Epic community. Enrique, regarding the treasury, how
Yep.
important it is for a project to have funds to be able to be a self-sustained project, to be able to pay for itself?
I think it's very important that we have gotten to where we are through self-funding activities. If this project would have started with, you know, a bunch of money from, you know, VCs or whatever, it probably wouldn't be where it is right now. You know, things have been done right, and the fact that the community funds the initiatives that it wants is is pretty big because it's not just, you know, one person or a group of people making the decisions. You know, if the community wants to support an initiative, then they put their coins towards supporting that initiative. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things of this project, you know, that it's open to anyone. Anyone can do anything. If I, for example, want to do a campaign here locally and the community thinks that it's valuable, you know, I can raise funds for whatever I'm doing, and that's how we will grow the ecosystem, and that's how we've been growing the ecosystem.
Everybody, there is a revolution taking place right now, and it is called the blockchain revolution. Learn as much as possible and dive into this because we are digitalizing everything that we know as value, that has value. Everything's got to be digitalized and with a lot of heavy encryption. So do not miss this opportunity. It's coming once every 100 years for you to start and accumulate wealth, and of course, protecting the wealth you already have. José Enrique from the Epic Treasury contributor, thank you so much once again for your time. And everybody, take a look on the description below for all the links we mentioned and the important information. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.